Hey guys, welcome back again. Dave's Dimension, welcome back again for another video. Welcome back to the channel where chaos and insanity will always reign supreme. So we're back again for another unbox. This time we got a big one, guys. This is not a collectible. Well, this is something I guess I could make collectibles with. That's right. Now, if you've been paying attention to the channel, we've been adding a few extra projects to the channel. We're still doing unboxings. Like, I still have to do this guy right here. Well, that'll be a separate video. But if you notice on the channel past week or so, I've been working on some 3D printed items. I did not 3D print them, but a friend of my wife's, through a coworker of hers from work, has actually been 3D printing some props for her to use at Steel City Con next month in August. And that's going to be down in Pittsburgh, PA. So this is one half of the, if you're Marvel fans, you might have seen a little movie called Guardians of the Galaxy. Star-Lord and the rest of the Misfits. But in the beginning of the movie, he's on a heist to get a Infinity Stone. He doesn't know it's an Infinity Stone. But he gets this orb that is holding the stone, and this is one half of that orb. It's actually two different pieces of 3D print. And then the other pieces, altogether 6 pieces to go together. But I'm still working on it so that she can have this prop. It looks pretty seamless. If you guys take a look at it here, it looks pretty damn seamless right there. And I'm trying to figure out a way I can put a magnet, some way I can kind of connect these two without it showing. I don't want a gap showing, you know? We don't want a gap. We want it to look like one solid piece. So I'm still working on that, but these were all black. I actually hand painted them myself. This was kind of a yellow mustard color. We put a little bronze on it, hand painted it. I still got to do another coat or two on here, but it looks pretty damn good. So we have those. And she's also got some blasters. I need to do a little bit of sanding on those, hit them with some primer and do some additional painting. So I figured, hey, it's been a while since I really had a major project. You guys know I'm a big Ghostbusters fan. And I've heavily modified a couple spirit packs. I have 3 spirit packs that I've done. 2 of them I still have. 1 of them actually sold to a very awesome collectible shop down south. And that Proton pack was actually the Back to the Future Flux pack. It was my first project, first cosplay endeavor, and I'm kind of missing it. And, well, one, Spirit Halloween and Ghostbusters, we don't know what the future is going to hold. We don't know if they're going to have Proton packs again through Spirit Halloween. But those Proton packs are at 80% scale, and plus, you know, you have limitations on what you can do. I got myself a 3D printer, guys. With 3D printing, I can mash up parts. I can make custom parts if I want. I got to learn how to do that first. But I will be able to do some pretty amazing customs. Plus, I don't have to rely on an 80% scale Proton pack that's really meant for more of a kid or a teenager. I can do a full scale pack. And that's what we're going to be doing. I don't know when Flux Pack Mark II is going to start or commence, but it's going to be a complete step-by-step process, guys. You guys are going to go on the entire journey with me building that. I don't know when that could be. That could be next month. It could be 3 or 4 months down the line. It could be 6 months down the line. We don't know yet. I have to learn how to 3D print. But, guys, what do you say we actually get right on into this and start building this? Now, I got an Ender 3 Max. Okay? Now, there's a company called Creality. I'm going to have a link to their website in the description below. And they've had several lines of the Ender 3 printers. Now, there are some people that swear to these and some people who don't swear to them. But, guys, you're going to be going with me. I'm a complete noob. Okay? I know nothing about 3D printing. I've never done 3D printing. Hell, when I was sanding my wife's prop guns for her cosplay, that's the first time I ever even worked with any kind of 3D printing media in any shape or form. I didn't know how it would sand. I didn't know, what are the new things. I mean, I've joined a lot of 3D printing groups on Facebook so I can learn. And I've just scratched the surface, guys. I know there are programs called slicers that you need. And what the slicer program is basically it's setting information so that just like when you print a piece of paper. When you're on print, you put a piece of paper in your computer printer, it's going to print line by line by line by line by line until you have words or pictures forming, right? Same thing here. The slicer is each level that the printer passes to basically melt that plastic and to form whatever item you're 3D printing. So I have to learn that. There are a lot of resources out there. There are Patreons. There are sites such as Thingiverse and so many others where you can get free files. But there are Patreons where you may have to pay because you know what? Those are artists who came up with their own designs and they're sharing them with you. You know, and then they want to recoup some money off of it because unfortunately it's a sad fact that some people will take other people's work and try and profit off of their own. Guys, I highly suggest against that. If you want to use someone's files, ask their permissions. If it's not on a public website, and if it is, obviously give credit to where credit is due. That's one of the things I always do. If someone is helping me doing something or someone suggests something, I try and give them credit in my videos. I try and mention it. That's just respect, guys. Okay? There are some Patreons out there. There's one known as Ghostbusters Gear. I'm going to be actually subscribing to him very soon, because from what I hear, he has the best STL files, 3D printing files for any kind of prop. So I will be subscribing to his Patreon so I can have access to some of his amazing files. But first, we have to build this printer, and let's get right into this, guys. So, guys, are you ready? Let's go. Okay, guys. So here we go. Hope you guys can still hear me. So here I am. We're going to cut right on into this box. We got the bat blade. Let's cut right into here. Now this is just going to be the unboxing, guys. I'm not going to make you sit here and watch me build this. Let's just push this right here so you guys can kind of see. Now, right at the top. Now, full disclosure, I actually bought this with my own money on, Amazon Prime Days this past week. So, this printer was usually going for $399, and I got it for $303. So, after taxes and everything, about $330. And I just got it delivered today. Now, again, I've never built a 3D printer before. I've never printed anything 3D before. So we got our nice little book here. Nice little Ziploc reusable book. We have a lot of parts in here, of course. Now, you might be saying, Dave, you've never 3D printed before. Are you sure you can even do this? I think anybody can, given enough practice, given enough practice, enough research, I think anyone can do this, guys. So that's the plan. If I can do it, you guys can do it. Let's get right back into there. So yeah, we get this Creality manual. A nice, good, thick manual. We like a good, beefy one. We also have this QR code, so we can reach right out to them. And we have this warranty. So if you get one of these, I highly recommend doing a warranty in case there's any damage, any repairs are needed. Guys, fill it out. We have it right here. So we got that. And it looks like we got some, maybe some trolling decals? I don't know. What do we have in here? Well, we get a couple things here, guys. We get this little scraper, obviously to help scrape it off the platform, the printing platform, printing plate. What else do we have here? Oh, they give us some really cool snips. I've had something like this before with my Gundam builds, but these look like some pretty awesome snips here, because you might get some excess 3D filaments that stick onto your items, so you may need that. And guys, we get all these tools here. Oh, wow. Tons of tools and bolts, of course, to assemble it. Now, right now, we're going to throw this back into the bag, guys. We're throwing it right back into the bag, because this is the unboxing experience. Like I said, I'm not gonna make you sit here and make you watch this. There's so many other videos of people watching assemblies, and actually, believe it or not, guys, I'm gonna have those links in the video description below. I'm gonna have links to other people's channels who I've been using as research, who I've been looking for to see, is this the right printer for me? At least based on the things I found, that's what I'm believing so. Now, they do give us some 3D, this is 3D PLA filaments, if I'm correct, this is PLA. There are different grades of plastics that can be used to make your 3D objects. Now, of course, yours truly has already bought some extra filaments. Now, there are PLA, there's PLA Plus, there's ASA, and I think ABA, I could be wrong, and there's a third one that I'm not thinking of right this minute. Now, they packed this thing tremendously well, guys. Tremendously well. Like here, we got, this is actually part of the control display. This is basically the brains of everything. We're going to keep that sealed. Well, let's break it open so you guys can kind of see what I'm talking about. Now, on most 3D printers, you're going to see some kind of either a touchscreen or a side display so you can select your files and do various things. We have our connectors right here. This is our Ender display. We'll use this knob to select different options. Now, there are some people who have done upgrades to the touchscreens. There are some touchscreens you can technically upgrade to, but we're not going to do any upgrades. At least not yet. I did buy a component that maybe if I need to do the upgrade, I'll do it. And that is what's called an BL Touch. It helps with leveling. But I went through several Facebook groups, and they've all said, leave everything as stock as possible. At least run a couple builds stock just to see where you are, to see if you even need to do upgrades. It all depends on your situation. Of course, we get our obligatory power cord. We're going to set that off to the side. We're going to set the control board off to the side. I call it control board. You might want to call it a motherboard. But don't call it a comeback. Okay, this is a little side arm that actually connects onto it, and this will hold our spool of filament. Filament is the plastic media that you're going to use that threads into the printer to actually print your actual item. So this is part of where that spool goes onto. Here's the other part of the spool. We will connect that onto there, but we're not going to do it just yet. You guys will see the finished product once I'm done. So we're going to set that off to the side. Other items we have here. Now we have the part of the printer right there. This is the printer head. Let's see if we can give you guys a better view. This is the printer head itself. Or at least that's what I call it. Let's see, can we bring this next portion up? Oh, we also have something else here. Okay, this is the power supply right here, guys. This got some weight to it, so be careful. We're going to set that off to the side. I have a piece of foam on the floor. So, as you can see, they pack everything nicely here. No chinsing around on this. And guys, this is giving you an overview. This is the printing plate right here. Let me see if I can tilt you guys a little forward. Look how big this is. This is much bigger than your standard printing plates, because I plan on printing some larger items on here. I mean, these are going to be proton pack parts amongst other cosplays. I've even gotten the through Thingiverse. I've even gotten the files for Thor's hammer, lightsabers. I got a lot of stuff that I really want to print through here, guys. But this shows, now this is going to be. Now, of course, we have a lot of assembling we have to do. As you can see, we have a lot of the electronics right here. So I got sections that I need to pull out. A lot of the electronics right here, one pretty big piece. So I have to assemble a lot of this. Now, if you notice, there is a QR code right here, which I'm presuming is going to come in pretty damn handy. Let's see, can I pull this up? So this is going to be part of. This is like the top part. Your printer, your printer head right here is going to go back and forth, back and forth. So we got some good heights on here. This is going to be pretty tall once it's done, guys. I'm trying to be careful. I don't want to hurt anything. It looks like some of the electronics. Are these all one piece or... Yeah. So this is all one piece. So I'm going to have to pull this out pretty carefully, guys. But, so we have the... Basically the arms or the... yeah, I guess you could call this the body of the printer right here. We have the printer plate. And, of course, we have the bottom part. Because right underneath the printer plate is basically a lot of the other mechanics, gyros. So, guys... This is the Ender 3 Pro Max. It is a big boy. This is not something... I mean, make sure you got plenty of room. As you can see, it's taking up most of my desk. But guys, we're going to pick this up as soon as I have everything built. You're going to see how massive this is. This is not something that's going to be done in 5 minutes. It's going to take a little bit longer, guys. But don't worry. You are coming along for the entire ride for this. Well, I'm not going to make you sit here and watch, but Dave's Dimension has a 3D printer. I know it's scary, but let's go. Okay, guys, so here we are. About 20 or so minutes later, I've actually been using a couple videos as reference for assembling this. So we're almost complete. Now we're at the good fun part. Whenever you get something fun and new, that is technology-wise. Scraped a little bit of my wall right there. As you can see, she's big. She is a big printer. So, the fun part. Got to peel it off. There you go. Do we have one on this side? No, we don't. But as you can see, this is actually glass. It's a tempered glass. Already got fingerprints on it. You know it. Ender. So, there are clips on the back here. I don't know how well you guys can see this. There are some clips that this will slide right onto. Then we have clips that actually slide open here, as you can see. Okay? So now that we got this plate on, the fun part of putting the left and the right front clips on, and now it's not going to go anywhere. It's going to glide with the bed perfectly here. Now, a couple videos I have watched, they have you putting an additional zip tie on the side here, because this is our power supply right here. And then we have interconnecting power supply cables underneath. Now, on one of them, I did use a little bit of a mesh stretch cabling like this, where you just open this up and you can run your wires right through. However, the way it was coming off with me, I think I need a slightly smaller version of this, because it was actually making the whole thing wobbly, guys. So if you're going to use that kind of a split loom, be careful. You guys want to get something that's a little bit thinner. Otherwise, it was making the whole thing lopsided. We don't want it lopsided. We want our printer to be labeled. Otherwise, it's not going to print properly. If it's askew, your print is going to come off at an angle. We don't want that. And we have one more little sticker to peel, which is the control display. There we go. Now, I do have this extra part here. I'm not quite sure what this is for. I have to figure out what that is. They gave us some extra tools here, definitely. We got our little Allen keys and a flathead screwdriver, which I have not used yet, and a little wrench. This wrench is for adjusting some of the bolts on here in case it feels like you're hitting a flat spot somewhere, which we're not. This is our spool. Let me give you guys a little look right there. We got a little spool here that actually swivels to allow. Let me give you guys a little lower profile right here. So this is where we'll put our spool of filament, and you can set it off to the side or here, which is nice. They don't actually have this on a lot of the other Ender printers out there. Now, we do have a little bit of a cavity here. See, guys, what I'm talking about. We have the main motor and controls right here. We have the display right here. So you do have some cavities. Now, there are people who have done 3D printing compartments so you can put your tools right here, which is pretty cool. There are a ton of upgrades out there, but we're not going to do any upgrades yet. Just like I said, we're going to be focusing right on this. Now, I did have to set the voltage. On the back of the power supply here, there is a voltage switch. Now, if you're in the US, you're going to be doing 115. If you're in Europe, you're going to be hitting the 230s. 230 is what it was defaulted at, guys. So you want to be careful before we even get to the point to powering it up. Okay? Got the power cord right here. I have not powered it up yet because, well, I wanted to wait. Now, a couple cool things that they have here is they actually have a micro SD reader right here. So that's how you're going to be transferring your data, is either through micro SD. I believe there is a USB Type-C right here, and you can plug that directly into your computer. But I think the micro SD cards is kind of a smarter approach to go, especially given you know, storage space. Who knows? Maybe you like to keep all your ST files in a separate external hard drive, which is actually something I think is probably a good idea. Because who knows? You know, you probably want to keep a whole library of them. Now, your main power cord is going to go right here, and we do have an on and off switch right here. So we have to plug this in. However, I need to figure out my power situation because I have my stick, my little power strip all the way over there, out of reach. So I'm gonna have to figure this out. But we're gonna be powering this up. But guys, it only took me about 20-25 minutes because I'm a complete noob, of course. But there she is. She is, now, just for comparison, if you want to know how big she really is, you guys, I got my Samsung S21 Ultra, a little bit of fuzz on it. So as you can see, this is a pretty good size bed right here. This is a pretty good size bed on here. Now, there are sites that you guys can get 3D printing files, but from what I understand, we need to get a slicer program first. That's going to be our first thing. There are a lot of them out there available for anyone and everyone. We have some more little clips here. I don't know what these clips are for. Again, I need to do a little bit more research. But here's something pretty cool. They give us what looks like our little micro SD. So I'm going to open that right up. And by the way, yes, I did injure myself. I was using a multi-tool, or what some people call Leatherman. I was using this to cut open a few things. I kind of stabbed my finger a little bit. You know how I do it. So, oh, this is pretty cool. So our micro SD goes into a little USB port, so we can just plug this right into our computer. And it is a removable micro SD. They gave us an 8 gig NetTech 8 gig micro SD card. So that's pretty cool that they gave us that. And I just dropped it. There you go. So that's pretty cool that they give us that. You know? What I'm kind of tempted to do is to get a little piece of Velcro so I can attach this maybe on the side of the arm, or maybe, I don't know, maybe down here. I gotta figure, no, you know what I'll do? I'll probably put it right on the front here so I can keep my micro SD right there. However, I did order a few extra items today. Me being the crazy man that I am, I actually got 128 gigabyte micro SD with the adapter here. Because, well, you can always use an extra one, right? And I did get a... I didn't know what would actually be coming inside here, so I actually got myself a micro SD card reader for the computer, USB Type 3.0. So I did get that because, hey, why not? And who knows, I might have some larger files that I'll want to use. Maybe I want to keep a bunch of files. 128 gigabytes is always much better than 8 gigs, right? So I picked up all that. But this is a good size printer, guys. I am going to be doing a follow-up video on this. I mean, just to give you guys a little bit more clarity. I got my camera a little bit stretched more than I usually do, guys. Just tighten that. There we go. So, as you can see, the printer, I'm sitting right next to it, guys. I'm sitting right next to it. This is a good size printer. Now, what can I print on here? Let's take an action figure. Hell, I got a sonic screwdriver right here. And just to give you guys a little bit more comparison, sonic screwdriver, I could easily print a lightsaber across. But I am going to be printing a lightsaber. I don't know if I'm going to be doing it tonight, because this will probably take several hours. But just to give you guys a comparison, let's just grab a Lightning Collection action figure. Guys, this thing is huge. I plan to be building parts to make a proton pack, a Ghostbusters Ghost Trap. I do want to make some diorama pieces. You heard it here. I've been watching a lot of my fellow YouTubers. They make some killer dioramas. But hey, with a 3D printer, maybe I can make maybe a throne for Lord Draken, throne for Lord Zed. I got a bunch of things I would love to build some stuff with. Maybe I can even print some 3D sectional walls that I can make into like an alleyway or a street to do unboxing with some of the Marvel figures, some of the other figures we're doing, maybe some of the Gundams. Please excuse, it's a big mess here, guys. It really is. But there we are, guys. Ender 3 Max. There are adjustments here. There are some knobs underneath the plating. I'm not going to touch anything right now. I'm stoked. I'm psyched. Like I said, guys, there are plenty of different filaments that you can use. There are plenty of other things that you can use for 3D printing. There's plenty of different elements. Guys, I honestly suggest to you that you please, and I said please, baby, but please do your research first, guys. Okay? Yeah, excuse the mess here. So, yeah, the printer is finished. As you can guys see, I have posters along the side here, and she takes up a good bit of space here. I went for the bigger one. Now, I'm going to show you guys a quick picture of like a basic entry model Ender 3, and I'm also going to throw up a picture of an Ender 3 V2. There's different versions out there. There are a lot of different printers out there. Ender is not the only brand out there. There are others, but I happen to know through various people I know, namely my youngest brother. He swears by his Ender that he's had for a couple years. I mean, I'm stoked. I'm waiting to see. Now, do I think I'm going to be a pro at first? Hell no. Hell no. You got to go into this knowing you're going to fail. You know you're going to have mix-ups. You're going to have things falling apart. But that's the whole thing about a new hobby, or maybe new business for some of you guys out there, is there's going to be trials and errors. There's going to be hits and misses. But you know what, guys? That's where the fun is in all this, okay? Dave, you're talking about fun. Yes, I am. I am talking about fun. But to me, am I going to be cursing up a storm? Hell yes. Oh, hell yes. I'm going to be cursing up a storm like you won't believe. But you know what? I'm going to have fun with it, though. You know, one of my favorite lines from Batman Begins, why do we fall? So we can pick ourselves up. I mean, think about failing, and then succeeding. That awesome drive, that adrenaline, that rush that you're going to feel. I mean, you know, do I think I'm going to be tremendous at this? No. Do I think I'm going to have some fun? Is there going to be a bit of a learning curve? Hell yes, there is. There's definitely going to be a learning curve, but that's what YouTube is for, guys. I mean, I'm a new person at this, okay? When I started this channel, it was not called Dave's Dimension. When I started this channel, this was just me, Dave Farrell, building things, taking a spirit pack and trying to build a few, doing some modifications on a ghost trap, doing modifications on a spirit proton pack. Now, I figured, hey, I'm no pro at this. I am a complete novice. You know, all my life, I have had some vision and some hand-eye coordination issues all my life, guys. I had speech problems for a lot of my young life. And I was told I'll never be able to do anything. But yet, I'm doing these things now. I mean, I figured, hey, if I can succeed at doing some of these things, then anyone out there, any of you guys can succeed at this. Okay? That's what this channel, I say, Dave's Dimension, where channel or chaos and insanity will reign supreme. I do technical support as my 9 to 5 Monday through Friday job. Okay? One of the biggest things is Murphy's Law. Have you ever heard of Murphy's Law? If anything bad can go wrong, most definitely will. Also known as the Catch-22. Okay? That's why in woodworking and in a lot of trades jobs, they say measure twice, cut once. Okay? If you expect the worst, then hey, if the worst doesn't come, you're not necessarily disappointed, right, guys? So that's the chaos and insanity. Will things go wrong? Things could go wrong. But if they don't, hey, great, I can move forward on to the next item. But guys, that's what this channel is all about. It's all about having a bit of fun. This is something new and scary to me. Do I know anything about CAD? No. Do I know anything about STLs and slicing? No. But I'm about to learn, guys. And I'm going to try and share as much information as I have with you guys. You might be wondering yourself, Dave, you're doing 3D printing. Does that mean the channel's changing? No, it's not going to change. See these figures I have behind me? I'm going to be getting more. Yes, we are going to be doing a little bit more 3D content, but this is something new. It's just something extra that's going to be folded into this onion that is Dave's Dimension, okay? An onion has many layers, and so does this channel. This channel started out with Ghostbuster props. Not many, but some. And then it expanded into my NECA figures. All my Ghostbuster collections. I mean, and please excuse the mess. I mean, we have so much in here. There's so much more coming through, guys. Some of these figures are actually going bye-bye. Yep, that's true. I am changing up my collection, but that's the thing. But I'm hoping to do maybe some 3D print files of dioramas and maybe do some paint weathering. I really want to take this to the next level if I possibly can, guys. I want to do some 3D prints of, well, obviously you heard me talk about the Flux Pack Mark II, which is going to be fun. I'm so stoked. I already got designs going on in my head like there's no tomorrow. I want to do some lightsabers. I actually want to make some custom parts for the Flux Pack Mark II. I want to change up some of the components, some of the boxings that you see on the Proton Pack. I want to replace them and put other components in there, guys. So I have some crazy ideas in my head. Excuse the mess. That's actually the box that the Ender came in. So I got to clean up the dimension. Excuse the mess, guys, as always. But guys, there's a lot coming through the pipeline, guys. Okay? And there are a lot of channels that I want to thank. There are people in this YouTube community, too numerous to name, who I consider my friends. I consider family. I consider you guys my brothers and my cousins, who have helped me, who've given me the motivation to move forward and do something, guys. YouTube's big enough for all of us, whether you're a toy collector, whether you're a video gamer, okay? Whether you're a vlogger, maybe you want to do hair, maybe you want to do makeup tips, maybe you just want to talk about your favorite show. Guys, YouTube is big enough for anyone and everyone. That's what YouTube is about, guys. Years ago, we didn't have, when I was a kid growing up, I was born in 78, guys. I was a child of the 80s and early 90s. We didn't have YouTube back then. We had public access. Public television where you can make your own shows, and that's what YouTube pretty much is. It's the next generation internet-based public access. So guys, it's big enough for anyone. If you have an idea, if you ever had a thought about making a video, guys, do it. I started out just doing figure like maybe I'm going to do a half-assed tutorial, or maybe I'll give a review of a monitor stand or a desk or little pieces here and there. I even made a video called ghost busting for big guys because I was extremely more heavy set than I am now. I'm still a big guy, but I had these crazy ideas out of the box and I rolled with them, guys. You can do the same thing, and that's what this is all about. I'm going to try and give you guys as much information as I can from my mouth. I'm not going to be technical. In my job, I'm talking to people about modems, cable boxes, routers, and you got Grandma Esther and Uncle Joe that don't know a router from a modem, okay? They don't know how Wi-Fi works. What I tell them at my job is this. It's like, okay, the modem's going to be a flat box. You're going to have a round cable screwed into it, but I want you to think of that as a water faucet and the router as a sprinkler. Because what does a router do? It takes that wired internet connection through the wire or hose, and it goes to that router, and that router is like a sprinkler. It's shooting it out in all directions, but you have your wireless devices, your TV, your Xbox, your cell phone. Think of those as cups or buckets grabbing the water that's being shot out, grabbing that internet and connecting it. A very simple way of explaining how a modem, a router, and your devices kind of simply connect. For someone that doesn't know computers or doesn't know IPs, MAC addresses, some of you guys don't know what that is. But that's how I kind of do technology. When I talk technology, I'm not throwing out tech specs at you guys. I mean, I can read off a list of the exact measurements of this and the right voltage for this as well. I'm not going to do that, guys. I'm going to give you guys, plain and simple, on average, because I kept rewinding. What I did was I was watching a YouTube video, which I'm going to have a link in the video description below. I'm going to have a link for that. In fact, the video in question is there's a channel called Embrace Making, and I watched his video of Creality Ender 3 Max Setup and First Impressions ... maximum value or maximum disappointment. I'm going to have that link in the video description below. That's the exact video that I watched to make this, guys. Okay? That's going to be in the video description below. There's going to be some links to some other public websites where you can get STL files, where you can get slicer programs, so you guys can jump ahead and start making your own projects. And guys, please, if you picked up the Ender 3 Max, let me know. Or maybe have you had the Ender 3 Max and you went on to something else? I would really love any information, any and all information you might have. Now, we don't know. Did I waste my money or did I get something good? We're going to find out in the next video, guys. So, guys, as always, I want to thank you guys for checking out the channel, putting up with the mess and chaos in behind me. I got to clean everything up after this. And I just want to thank you guys for always being there, helping the channel grow. And guys, you know what I'm going to say. I'm going to say those two words I always love to say. Keep on busting. And I'll always, always catch you on the flip side.